Damn. Looking the light and shit. God, damn. Stay. Talk to the mirror. So I was watching this video, this YouTube content creator on YouTube, and this is basically just on narcissistic abuse. And this was in regards to the YouTube or social media platform content creator couple, the Truth, and like basically this content creator, she was exposing this narcissistic abuse, not just with that couple but other couples. Uh, Nature Boy, I never really heard of him until I'm in this video, but it got me thinking. And some part of the video, one of the victims was she showed a video, different videos of like different examples of narcissistic abuse, and even from the victim's standpoint. One of the victims, Velvet, yeah, she was talking, and like it just triggered me, and it just made me think about like different moments in my childhood and like religious, spiritual, narcissistic trauma that has to do with sexism and misogyny. And it had me thinking, like, in regards to that victim, Velvet, her father, my condolences, rest in peace. He tried to, well, he did. He helped her. Like, he never gave up on her, even though on the victim's part, with all the abuse, the going back and forth, the love bombing, and like the gaslighting, thinking things will get better and things don't, and just like it's a lot of trauma bonding. Basically, in regards to dynamic, in regards to the daughter and father relationship, I would say that it kind of hurts my heart because like I am not close to any of my family anymore, and especially not my father. And it got me thinking when I was going house to house, based off domestic abuse, narcissistic abuse, and before I came here to live back with my ex, I was living at my dad's for a short while. And like we basically got into it because like he was spewing some misogynistic, patriarchal, and sexist, discriminatory rhetorics. And I'm just like, I don't quite remember my dad spewing that behavior when I was growing up. And possibly so when I think about it, but like it was just so blatant. And the mere fact that I recognized it, I'm just like, no. No, sir. No. No. Like, what the fuck happened to you? Basically. And it's just I don't have a relationship with my father, with my mother. They're both narcissists. They both have narcissistic tendencies. Either or, one of those. Do I give them grace in regards to their own upbringing in society and this narcissism? Yes. However, with the mere fact of their intellect and like the resources that they have and us being close knit, the mere fact that they have the resources to help me, to support me, and not here saddens me and angers me a lot. And my relationship with my parents has always been like just very narcissistic. The love bombing, the gaslighting. There's different shapes and aspects of narcissism and like the narcissistic abuse, like covert, definitely for sure. Altruistic is where they do like gifts and shit. That's what my mom really does. And like I've been said this before as an adult and even probably as a child, but in a different way, but definitely as an adult is I would prefer to have my parents and those that I love, like siblings too, have that emotional support, and then the material shit. Because material, great and dandy, gifts, trips, money, that's cool. I mean, yeah, but like having them understand me and be there to support me and take accountability of where they went wrong in our relationship, and as well as I, because like I'm their child and I'm not perfect and neither are them. But like the mere fact that they don't understand that, and then like my father perpetuates like unhelpful rhetorics, and it's just, he will say like, you're not a victim. I'm just like, yes I am. Look up the definition of victim. I fit the definition. There's me. Hello, how you doing? Yeah. Do I want to stay in victim mode? No, of course not. But having my experience invalidated creates another aspect of me being a victim. So yeah, and that's just with the whole toxic positivity. But it's really more just gaslighting the victims' experience, and like that's what they've done as always, as when I was a child. And like me and my sister would talk about it. Me and my dad would talk about it in regards to my mom, because like it was just like a lot of narcissistic abuse and a lot of pointing the fingers and shit like that. And like as a kid, I was in grown folks' business when I shouldn't have been. I was the emotional dependent for them, and I shouldn't have been. Yeah. Like there's many times as an adult where like they'll say, especially my dad, he'll be like, he doesn't have anyone to talk to. I'm just like, all right, well I'm cool here. Like we all family, so like I guess I thought in my head we had this open dialogue to like basically vent or rant about our family members, but it's like it's not something, I don't feel, at least it's not something that I wouldn't say to their face, because I would have and I have before, and that's why we don't talk. So yeah. Uh, but there's many times where my parents has come to me as a child, and even up to adult, and brought up situations where I really shouldn't have been in, especially in regards to their own relationship. And especially if you're not willing to listen, to acknowledge, observe, and change the behavior. But most people benefit off the behavior that needs to be changed. So that's why we still have narcissism. That sense of losing power and control stems from childhood and upbringing, and honestly, racism, slavery, especially for African Americans. And then being a woman as well, being a man as well. Like it's a lot of systematic, psychological, spiritual, verbal, emotional, physical, environmental, financial, sexual, energetic warfare. Yeah. With my mom, I remember memories of her depending on me as like a teenager when she literally had a husband. But my father was emotionally and probably energetically and spiritually not available and immature, just like my mom. There's different levels to the shit, but I did recognize that. I guess I can give you examples from my mom. There's one time, I think I just got my learner's permit. So what? That's what, like 16 or something, 15 maybe, depending. Or did I even have my permit, or were they just teaching me to drive? Either way, I know the hospital was like down the street, and then like my mom was in pain, and I think I was just chilling, or she woke me up, or something like that. I was just doing my own thing, and my dad, he was on the computer and doing whatever, and she was in pain. And instead of going to her husband, I know they got into an argument too. And instead of going to her husband, my father, she came to me to drive her to the hospital. I should not be in that situation. And in fact, that situation shouldn't have happened in the first place. It makes me think, in regards to what I was saying, in regards to narcissistic abuse and romantic relationships, how really it starts from the root society, of course, but upbringing and like attracting narcissists is like a given. It's like I'm sure that's the consistency. Like I can count on that, and I don't like those factors. Do y'all feel me? So yeah, in regards to my dad, yeah, sometimes he'll talk to me about like my mom, or sometimes me and my sister we would go to him to talk to him about my mom because sometimes she just be like super narcissistic or like doing one of those like tactics, and it's just like and like so things like that. Um, we just I know me for sure. I was definitely involved in my parents' love life, and I shouldn't have been, especially in arguments. Um, yeah, as a child and as an adult. Oh, I guess in regards to my father, um, my parents were going back and forth for like what 3 years in regards to their marriage, and my dad technically was homeless. Like he was trying to work out the marriage, I guess, with my mom, whatever. I think there was infidelity, but of course, emotional immaturity, just a lot of immaturity in probably all aspects, and probably they never had a really good foundation in regards to relationship. My mom got pregnant. Here came me. Normally, the belief system is if you get a girl pregnant, you marry her. So yeah, and then like most people be like, yeah, you can always work to love somebody. Let's not do that. Let's not. Yeah, being with somebody for situations, I don't really think that's going to be a good outcome. Obviously, that happens with most people. And like uh, a prime example is having kids out of wedlock or even in wedlock. Just like not being equally yoked to your partner. So yeah. So with that being said, hold on, I'm gonna turn that thought. I'm trying to block my crown chakra, my third eye, but basically in regards to my dad. Oh yeah, during that time period when I was like practically an adult and I was like getting my own and shit like that, you know, their love life ran into some trouble again, and then like the financial issues, that all that shit, systematic oppression, da 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 da, all that shit. But when I was end up married to my ex, the one that I lived with, and one who was a narcissist, uh, my dad stayed here for like a couple of months to get back on his feet. Uh, and like so that's like an example as well as me not shoving that into their face, but it's like, do y'all remember that? Because like, where are y'all at when I need your help? When your daughter needs your help? Though you claim that you love me so much, you claim that I changed your life, your firstborn. Where are you at? So yeah. And basically, my father was going back and forth with my mom. He had his own apartment, and then he didn't. And then he had his own apartment, and then he didn't. That's in regards to the back and forth relationship between him and my mom. And like, while he's trying to get on his feet, he had a place to stay over here. And like, I didn't make his life a living hell. We didn't argue. I even like stuck up for him because like an issue with my ex is that my ex would play the game and he would be inconsiderate in regards to his volume. And I'll be working 16s in hours, like 16-hour shifts at the prison, 6 days on, 3 days off. And yeah, did I call out? Yeah, because fuck that job. That job is stressful and narcissistic as fuck and mentally and spiritually draining. So yeah, my spirit doesn't fuck with this system at all. But yeah, it's something that I talked to my ex about even before, prior to my dad coming to stay with us. So yeah. And then like when I think about it, like my dad kind of seen uh, like the dynamic between me and my husband or ex-husband. I don't even know why he said that, cause ill. And it got me thinking when I said that my dad, he had a female friend or someone he was dating at the time, and like an issue in my relationship or my ex relationship is that my ex would spend a lot of time on the game and not a lot of intimate, soulful quality time, and that's like another reason why I broke up with him and asked for a divorce. And like one of the girl that he was dating, and even my dad was like, his time management in regards to giving me attention, his priorities is out of whack. It was a lot going on in regards to my ex marriage, and like my family seen it, my friends seen it. I had men of certain age and caliber have conversations with my ex-husband, even from my dad to my friend, to my best friend's dad as well. And like I'm pretty sure maybe his dad talked to him. Um, so yeah, I just I don't get it. People are hard headed. People want to do what they want to do. That's what I do know. So here I am. I attract narcissists, and I realize it all starts from the roots, the beginning, source, God, essence, existence, to society, America, my upbringing, everyone's upbringing, really. And then romantic relationships, workplace, friends, school, authority systems, everything's narcissistic. And trying to unlearn that and leave what doesn't serve me has been a process, and it's really easier said than done. It's just the fact that I'm surrounded by narcissists, and then they try to make me feel like I'm the bad guy for calling them out on their bullshit is where I run into problems. And then like in regards to the system, trying to get my own stability once again after taking so many L's and losses in regards to my mental health with everything going on in my life in regards to narcissistic abuse, unpacking trauma, repressed trauma in regards to sexual abuse, emotional abuse, narcissistic abuse, once again, financial abuse, energetic, spiritual, verbal, financial, all types of abuse, environmental, society, everything. Unpacking everything, how the world is just fucked up and narcissistic is a lot. And like I broke that, and I also had another relationship that also helped after my marriage. That also helped break me spiritually. Yeah. And that was a female. So like that one hurts a lot. That one hurts a lot. Talk about trauma bond. But like I thought like in regards to lesbian relationships, it does move fast. And it's because of the emotional connection. But like if that person is a narcissist, baby, that's hell. That's hell, baby. I seen hell. I seen hell in the male form, in the female form, in a family form, in a friend form, in the workplace form, in society form, in existence and source form. I seen hell. And trust me, I don't ever want to go back. I pride myself on becoming a better person. So that way I don't cause people issues. Some might call it people pleasing, but that's a pro to my people pleasing is I don't want any issues. So that means I stay out the way. That means I don't do things that I don't want done to me or that has been done to me or that I used to do. I just don't be doing shit, to be honest. So yeah. Um basically I just realized the roots of my issues and it's in everything. And it sucks that I don't have a support system in regards to that victim from Nature Boy. The mere fact that her dad was able to get her help and never gave up on her is something that I admire and would want for myself, basically. And those who help victims of narcissistic abuse. Yeah, that support system, that compassion, that consideration, someone being able to look at the situation from a bird's eye perspective and look at the details because both are very important. And it's like I see other people mention it, but they're like not in my close quarters, so it's just like it's right there, but not for me to reach. And that seems very strategic and systematic, especially as a gay Black woman and victim of trauma and narcissistic abuse. I don't know what to do. I feel stuck, delayed, interfered, and obstacles. I felt toyed with. I felt stupid, like I really lost my mind. In the past 3 years, like I was chasing after somebody who I'm pretty sure hates me. And this is in regards to a female relationship that also broke me. And mind you, all my relationships, I don't go looking out for people. They come to me and I just accept them with open arms. So that's something that I've learned not to do here in this world because it's not accepted and you will be taken advantage of, unfortunately. This saying of true good people with no bad intentions is really true and rare. And I'm one of them. And I know people can change, but that has to be on them. It takes two to tango. It takes a bunch of us to march. A lot has happened. I've uncovered a lot of deep, dark secrets. I keep uncovering a lot, especially in regards to existence, my family tree, things that are swept under the rug. And I'm not proud of it, especially if I had anything to partake in it. I'm not proud of it, especially that I know that those that I once cared about, those that said they cared about me and loved me, partaked in it too. This is from family, friends, and lovers, God, existence, source, strangers, fans, society, workplace, coworkers, people who said that they fuck with me basically. But nah, they fuck with me basically and toying with my mind. Like there's a job that definitely has well accumulated to my mental health, and I hate the shit out of that job. And that's where I met that one particular person, that girl. And honestly, shit hit the fan again. I mean, shit hit the fan when I was born, and then shit hit the fan when I got into my narcissistic marriage, and then shit hit the fan when I quit my job as a correction officer, and I was trying to find myself as a spirit because like this was not setting in my soul. Like I seen a lot of hidden but blatant racism, sexism, discrimination, and like narcissistic abusive tactics and everywhere that I worked, especially being a correction officer. And that didn't sit right with me. So there's a mosquito in here and it keeps flying over. So damn, crazy. That's a fly. Flies bite too, but nonetheless, like I was saying, um, yeah, it's been a lot. I have no problem sharing my story. I truly do believe that I'm right, unfortunately, in regards to those who I've interacted with who never had good intentions for me. And they know I was a nice person, and they know I was looking for love, and they know I was looking for support and companionship, and to have friends, to be in love, to give love, to receive love, to have love, to be of love, to see love. to know love. This is to everything and anything, everything that I interacted with, everything that interacted with me. And mind you, once again, and I never really go seeking out, especially in my adulthood. People always came to me, so that's what makes it worse. It's like you deliberately came out your way because you saw me. You saw my spirit for who I am. You know something about me. And you decided to take advantage of that. You decided to take that. You decided to harm that. You decided to abuse that. You decided to misuse that. You decided to invalidate that. You decided to neglect it. Me. To neglect me. To discard me like a narcissist. For no reason. Other than the mere fact that I want to be better and I want you to be better, especially if you want to be in my energy field and communicate and interact with me. Doesn't that make sense? Reciprocity? If we're not on the same wavelength, we can't interact equally yoked since y'all love the Bible so much. And I used to hang around people who did different things than me. And like I didn't fall into peer pressure. And then the same becomes true. Then I fell into peer pressure. I also accumulated with that. I am a strong individual, but then I did hit my weak spot. And yeah, I learned from it. I won't ever do it again. I was definitely a strong individual. I definitely still am a strong individual. But I definitely have my weak spot. And admitting that makes me a stronger individual. And I think it would behoove me, just in all totality, not to hang out with motherfuckers who do things that I don't agree with. I'll try my best to make that happen in all its entirety. So that's why I want my own stability, my own money, my own independence, my own house, my own car, all that again. I lost that shit. I feel like that was strategic, spiritual, financial, environmental. I felt like it was a game. I feel like I have haters and spiritual spies and abusers and narcissists who don't want the best for me. Government, society, hexes, covens, cults, shit like that, lovers, family, friends, coworkers, everything. Haters. Yeah. So here I am. That being said, is I recognize all the spiritual bullshit and abuse and trauma. And I refuse to go through it again. I refuse to perpetuate it. I'm trying to do everything in my power not to go through it again. And I know I've been here for 3 lifetimes, but I don't know I'm in the situation until that situation happens. It's like a deja vu moment. But the mere fact that I sit in that energy layer, I've been here before. It's like, yeah, I've been here before, but like I don't know what's gonna happen next. I'll be trying to tap in, but like they be trying to block it, amongst other things for me, especially when I try to channel or like do something creative or self care or heal myself. There's a lot of interferences. There's a lot of soul ties that are not good for me. That like I didn't recognize that I had, that had bad intentions for me. Like, we're all portals. Everything's a fucking portal. And like protecting myself has been the hardest journey. And I don't know what to do. I can't surrender even if I wanted to. I tried to unalive myself many times onto a mental health hospital. And I'm still here. For what? I don't know what to do. This fucking mosquito keeps bothering me. Oh, I need to go. The battery. But yeah, that's it.